After a year of nonstop travel and adventure, we have some big news. We're parking the RV for a while.
Yep, you heard that right. We're trading full-time RV life for something completely different and honestly, a little unexpected.
And spoiler alert, this involves us getting actual jobs like clocking in, wearing a uniform, having bosses, and everything. But trust us, it's not as bad as it sounds.
In fact, this next chapter is something we've been dreaming about for years, so buckle up, because it's not just any pit stop, it's Yellowstone!
I got a full-time job, though no one pays me.
So let's talk about it. The real reality and the truth is that we're scrounging and eating ramen over here, trying to make a living on YouTube, and with launching our own, Mandy being a fitness coach online. That doesn't mean things that aren't going well. How would you describe the process after a full year of living on the road and not even a full year of these businesses being up and running?
So it's been a year of lots of learning, trying new things, and with launching both of our businesses, and we've continued to make a steady growth. But let's be honest, you don't have a F450 payment without an income. So this is something that's been on our mind since the beginning as kind of a back burner or the next step process. So
for sure, when we set out to start YouTube, we were both working full-time and we were filming and learning and trying to figure out how to edit. And what we realized is that if we realistically wanted to put out an episode each week, that really was going to be a full-time job. And now that we've learned and mastered some of those skills, the time consumption is reduced, but it's definitely not nothing. So it's not like we ever thought we were never going to work again. That is definitely not what the dream was. And YouTube is work, and so is being a fitness coach. It's even harder work when you're doing all those things for yourself and all that self-promotion that comes with it. But before we ever purchased an RV, before an RV was a thing, we used to talk about and dream about spending time and potentially even living in Yellowstone. We had heard of people doing it, and we thought, well, that sounds pretty amazing.
So when the money started running low and it was time to start looking for jobs, we started applying everywhere out west and mainly focusing on the 3 companies that hired in the Yellowstone Park, Delaware North, Xanterra, and Yellowstone Forever. We interviewed with all 3 of them. We actually got an offer from all 3 of them.
We did, but ultimately, only one of those companies really aligns with our values, really does good work in the park, and was really a company that we could see ourselves being part of for years to come. And so we accepted a position with the official nonprofit partnership of Yellowstone National Park, Yellowstone Forever. And I am freaking jacked about it. Okay, so let's talk about Yellowstone Forever a little bit and what we'll actually be doing, because we want all of you guys to come and visit us. If you've ever wanted to go to Yellowstone, this is the year. We are going to be there May through October, and we want to see you.
We will be working at the Canyon Village store. So we'll be cashiers, working in the store, helping everybody understand what Yellowstone Forever does. And we are so excited. And this campground, Canyon Village, is smack in the middle of the park, right by the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. And I'm so excited!
For sure. So there's many reasons that we decided to go with Yellowstone Forever over the other companies, because we're not saying negative things about the other companies. We're just talking of the one that we're excited about. We'll be living amongst only other fellow camp workers, and then ranger housing is also right there in the campground that we will specifically be staying in, which is a part of Canyon Village. However, in Canyon Village, there is a public campground, which is no hookups for the general public, and or just down the ways there's Fishing Bridge, which is a full hookup campground, but also Canyon Village has a huge lodge with like how many rooms or something?
Like 400 or 500, and they just renovated it back in 2017, and it's a gorgeous area.
Yes, so our positions this year, we talked about different positions with the hiring team, and we really wanted to work together. We wanted to work somewhere that was walkable, and it was really important for us to try to be able to get full-time hours in on a 4-day work schedule, and they were willing to do that if we worked in this particular store. And them allowing us to do that, allows me to continue to edit and film weekly videos, and allows you
to continue to coach my online clients and continue to grow that and be able to continue to give them the same support of what I'm doing right now.
And so that is one of the biggest reasons that we elected to go with Yellowstone Forever. But the real reason that we could see ourselves long term with a company like Yellowstone Forever is because of the great research they do. Check out their website. We'll link it below, but they do so many different projects across the park, from anything from studying all the wildlife in there to youth education groups. Their mission, let's make sure we get it right. Their mission is to protect, preserve, and enhance Yellowstone National Park through education and philanthropy. Yellowstone Forever builds upon the nearly 100-year legacy that began in 1933 with the Yellowstone Library and the Museum Association. So anything from cultural heritage to wildlife, the grass, like everything you can imagine that needs to be studied, they are the ones who are funding it and making those projects happen. And that is why we are extremely proud to call them our new employer.
Yeah, like things like the Wolf Project, or even helping making sure that there's bear boxes in the campground to keep the bears away from the human food, to protect them. The projects they do are just amazing, and it was close to us, and we're excited for that.
Absolutely. Their focus on conservation, education, and community perfectly aligns with our own personal values, and so it feels good. It feels really good. However, living in a national park that is 2.2 million acres, right? 2.2 million acres is now our backyard. Boom! Doesn't come without a couple of challenges. What is one of, if not the biggest challenge that we're going to face when we move into the national park this year?
So the biggest challenge affects the pups, Miley and Dora. So
okay.
We had a different one.
I guess we did. Okay. Couple big challenges.
There's two that are tied. We love having our dog fence, and it's great for the dogs to be able to go out and be leash free, and of course they get their walks in the day, but you can't put up any type of the dog fencing or awnings and things like that because of the wildlife, right? If wildlife then comes and gets tangled in it, they have to tranquilize them, and so to protect the wildlife, you can't put any of that up, which means every time these girls have to go, whether it's the middle of the night, anytime, it's on a leash, and we have to walk them. But the concern with that is, who visits the park in the spring?
Oh,
Our campground.
Our campground, we're right in a mama bear, grizzly bear's territory in that campground, from what I understand. And yeah, we're going to be 40, the pups are going to be 10 by the time we get there. And so yeah, the pups sometimes have middle of the night urges, or just everything that comes with a 10-year-old dog. So that is definitely going to be one of the biggest challenges that we'll face.
I know which one you're going to say next.
Are you sure?
Grocery?
No!
Oh my gosh!
I was actually going to say connectivity. So the 2.2 million acres, most of that there is absolutely no cell service. So what that means is that we will be fully relying on our Starlink. We've talked to the hiring manager who's in charge of where exactly our site will be. She's assured us that we will absolutely have a clear line of sight to the sky, so Starlink should still be able to work. But it's going to be like childhood. Like, our phone works when we're at home, but when we're out and about, we really won't have any cell service. And so we're going to be 6 months basically without cell phones, like taking it back to the old school.
I'm excited.
Yeah, okay. And then I guess the third one,
grocery. So we experienced it and shared with you when we stayed on the outside of the park last year, outside of North Entrance and West Entrance, and the grocery stores are very limited. So because the job we took is in the middle of the park, to get out almost any direction, like if we were to go to West Entrance or out to East Entrance to Cody, you're talking 90 minutes, 2 hours plus, depends which one you go to get to an actual grocery. The actual Walmart would be in Cody, 2+ hours. So we're limited on our resources.
Yeah, and so what we plan to do is we actually plan to stock up on things like laundry soap, body wash, like all those things that are non-perishable items. Because even though, we might be able to go and get laundry soap at the general store that we're working at, I promise you it's probably going to be somewhere between 2 to 3 times the cost of what it will be down here on the border in Texas, where everything is so much less expensive than it is in most of the country. And so we're going to bring you guys along for that when we do a full stock up of things. I'm talking like a big bag of Costco rice, like everything we can fit into this RV to stock up before we head into the national park to help combat that challenge that we're gonna face this year.
Artichokes. We couldn't find artichokes all last year.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's
Canned pumpkin for the dog food. There's the list. We started writing it down, and the list is long. So we will show you all of that. But having a lot of those staples and things that we can. Obviously, weight is something we have to be aware of.
yeah.
We're gonna be packed tight.
Yeah, we are. But we'll bring you along for that. It's going to be fun. And in addition, because we're going to be living off the grid and we have some epic backcountry adventures that we're going to take along with you, and you guys gave some amazing suggestions on how we can upgrade and complete our disaster ready preparedness. We're going to make a few additions to that kit as well, and we'll share those with you when they get here and they arrive for sure. But another, not necessarily challenge, but a wrench in the summer spokes is what?
We're gonna be at 7,900 feet elevation, and when we interviewed for the job, she was not sure of the start date. It's based on when the park plows the campground.
When it's finally not so deep. You know, they've had like 10, 12 feet of snow at any given point, sometimes up in those mountains. And so we are absolutely going to experience snow in the RV for our summer in Yellowstone, probably on both the front end and the back end of that season. And so that's, what have we done to kind of help get us ready already for that winter wonderland that we'll be facing?
Well, we already have all of the cold gear, most of it. We got some additional under layers of cold gear, but with our past, we've always liked cold tent camping way better than hot camping, so we do enjoy that. The pups enjoy it. And if I'm going on a long hike, I'd rather be on the cold side versus the hot side and the bugs. So in addition to the fireplace and the furnace, we've gotten 2 space heaters, one for the living room, one for the bedroom, which has worked great and combated the cold nights that we've had so far where we are.
Yeah, even though we're way down south in Brownsville, Texas, we didn't experience the cold that 99% of you experienced. It did get cold down here, it got below freezing, and that was the first time we ever experienced temperatures below freezing. So we'll be ready, and we'll share all of those adventures, and probably misadventures at some point with you guys as we go along. But enough about the downsides. There's downsides to everything in life. There are so many amazing upsides. So let's dive into those.
I mean, the biggest upside is having the biggest backyard, living amongst the national park and the backcountry hikes and the wildlife. We will be so close to Hayden Valley, like practically our backyard, so wildlife.
And Lamar Valley is not that far away either.
So, and being right there in the park and so many adventures. So something else that is huge is the law or the ban. We no longer, for the type of content that we film, we don't need a permit to film to bring you the adventures that we do in Yellowstone. So that's huge, because that was definitely a concern with being all of our time in there. How would we film?
Yeah, and so we'll be able to take you along and show you what it's really like to live and work inside a national park. And like I mentioned briefly earlier, one of the biggest attractants that made us choose Yellowstone Forever was, even though we will be working full-time hours, we should still have 3 days off, and that will allow us to enjoy the beauty that we're so excited to see, but again, continue to create content for you. And while we're speaking of it, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed already, please do. It helps the channel grow. And if you're looking for other ways to help the channel, simple things like just letting the ads play instead of hitting that skip button, or if you're looking for somebody to help you along your fitness journey, check out the Lesby Fit app, Mandy's fitness coaching, digital, brought to you in your home.
So other than the outdoor adventures and all that, what did we need most? What was one of the top things that was a priority when we were looking for a summer position?
Well, as you guys know, we were lonely on the road. Community. And one of the things that we really loved about working in Yellowstone National Park was that Xanterra, Delaware North, and Yellowstone Forever, all those guys have paired up. There are 4,000 combined employees, I think, that work in the park every season. And they have so many community benefits. What are some of the ones that you are personally the most excited about?
So they have, in the community center for the employees, they have things like ping pong, pickleball, basketball, even a small gym. So I'm pumped for that.
Yeah, they run intramural sports for all those types of things for people to be able to participate in. What else?
Also the group hike. So they have like a 7 or 12 person passenger van that they'll take you and doing group hikes, which I think will be so much fun.
Yeah, and in addition, they're doing a 100-mile challenge. So if you can hike 100 miles during the season, you know, they have rewards for that. We are absolutely going to sign up for that, but one thing that we're personally doing, we're taking that hiking challenge up a notch. And I don't know if it's a delusional goal or if it's just a really awesome goal that we're going to nail. How many miles are we trying to hike from May to October?
500!
Yes, that is our personal goal. So there's only two things I can think of that would derail that goal. Would be if one of us got injured, which I don't foresee happening, or if I'm just, like I said, delusional in the amount of time that it'll take to be able to do that and all these other things that we're trying to do. But I actually, when we sat down and we did the math, we're going to be there for 23 weeks. That's 22 miles a week, which is a challenging goal with all the other time commitments we have. But it's not physically out of the question. So...
And we will have access to more than 1,100 miles of trails. So, and there's some trails like right by the campground where we're staying, or we can get on the trail and walk down to the overlook of the falls. So the accessibility will be right there. So I definitely think it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah. And, I mean, all of our family and friends who we've shared this with already, they're already making their plans and their arrangements to come see us. If you guys want to come see us, we would absolutely love that. Whether you want to meet us up for a hike, you want to sit by a fire together, whatever it may be, reach out to us. We'd love to get to know you better. And that is definitely, I think, going to solve the biggest struggle that we had on the road last year, which was feeling lonely. We're now in a community of 4,000 other Yellowstone workers and enthusiasts that we get to be around on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys. So again, the Canyon Village Campground is right where we'll be working. It's no hookups. The only campground within the park is Fishing Bridge, and it's a beautiful park with full hookups, and we'll be about 30 minutes from there.
Correct. There are many other campgrounds, but again, the only one with the full hookups is that Fishing Bridge. And you don't have to stay inside the park necessarily. There are many, many opportunities for lodging, camping, whatever you want to do, just in the surrounding area of the park. So whatever it is you're looking for to make your trip awesome, I'm sure you could get it figured out. And truly, just reach out to us in any way. We would really, really love to go for a hike or sit around a campfire or something with you guys. So look, we might be broke. We might have a financial setback in our life. It's definitely one that we anticipated, but you know our spirit. We turn setbacks into comebacks. And what is exactly what you said to me 3 weeks ago, probably, when we were applying for all these different jobs all over the country and going through the interview process, being bait and switch, realizing that some of these gigs are, I couldn't do that for 6 months or whatever it is. What did you say to me?
So this, I mean, and I might even get choked up now. We've had choked up as we've accepted this position, as going to Yellowstone for the summer just feels so right, and we're so excited. And it's one of those things where, like, I know you guys can relate. Once you, like, make a decision in life, you're like, man, how did I not see this was the right way all along? And if we would have blew up on YouTube and made it in the first year, we might not have been looking for this opportunity.
Absolutely. Or even, like, you know, I just think it just feels like everything in our lives has been leading us down this path, and it just feels so right. And I'm not feeling sorry for myself. I'm not considering this anything negative. To me, this is an amazing opportunity that I can't wait to see what it grows into. And I just feel so much gratitude and so much thankfulness for Yellowstone Forever, the universe, for you guys, for our family and friends who've supported us, for you, for all of it. It just feels so right.
Are you chopping onions again?
Yeah.
And so this is something that we dreamed of. And I mean, when we hit the road full time, we didn't know exactly what that adventure path was going to look like, but we always knew that it was going to bring us to some amazing opportunities that we really never could have ever dreamed were possible.
Yeah, sometimes you can't see what's 5 steps ahead until you take that first step, and you just have to take that first step in faith. I know that's something that we've talked about a lot, but you know, if the life that you're living isn't fulfilling, if it isn't speaking to your soul, if everything about your day feels wrong, which is where we were at one point in our lives, you have to make a step towards changing it on your own, and you don't have to have it all figured out before you take that first step. And we're here to share this journey with you guys, to be honest, to be transparent, to answer your questions, whatever they may be, and just to encourage you to go be the best version of yourself and let go of what you think that's supposed to look like.
Yeah, and it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows and easy and campfires and a waterfront spot. Like, you know,
eating steak and lobster. You might be eating ramen. There's nothing wrong with ramen. It's delicious, and there's so many flavors in today's world.
Yeah, they have so many flavors down here, so it's gotten better. But we could not be more excited, and I know even just in the last couple weeks we've really talked with all of these companies and really started to, you know, outweigh some of the concerns of the grocery and the dogs with the pros of being in the park. And once we got the job with Yellowstone Forever, I mean, it just feels so right, and it's given us both a new pep in our step and something to look forward to, and we're so excited.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for support for your health and fitness goals, and a great way to support us as well, check the link below for my online fitness coaching program, where you can have me right in your pocket on an app to help you reach your fitness goals.
We are so appreciative to every single one of you who watches our content. I cannot say that enough. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. We're so excited to share this adventure with you. And wait, what do we have coming in the coming weeks before we get to Yellowstone? Because how many miles away are we?
We're about 1,800 miles away.
And so we have 8 weeks from when we leave here to when we arrive in Yellowstone. And boy, oh boy, does my master planner have a doozy.
So we have 9 weeks.
Okay.
I think it's about close to 9 weeks from when we leave here to get there. And we're booking on a budget. And we now know what's most important to us, and that's hiking trails and being out in nature. So we are doing a state park to state park to state park hop all the way there, and we got to get our hiking legs under us for 500 miles that starts when we enter the national park. And so training starts when we hit the state parks and the trails when we leave here March 1st.
Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and we'll see you next week. Did we get it?
Mm-hmm.
We got it all?
I think so. What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
I have a job, it's actually quite fulfilling. Though my hairline is thin,